Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between Stats and Serral, probably my favorite matchup in all of StarCraft 2. It's going to be Stats at the top left of Acropolis. He's wearing red. And at the bottom right, wearing blue, it is Serral. Alright, man. Stats is one of the best Protoss players ever in StarCraft 2. And Serral won BlizzCon last year, so you know it's going to be a good game. This is from BlizzCon, the group stages, from, let's see, Group B, which is basically the round of 16 here. So they did it really a little bit weird this year, so round of 16 it is. Gateway expand here from Stats, 16 hatch here from Serral, 18 gas, 17 pool, yada yada yada. We know how the early game works, you guys. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're interested to see more of BlizzCon. It just, helps me get more attention from YouTube. People hitting like or dislike, apparently, is both considered interaction by the algorithm. So, I don't know, man. It's weird. Computers and algorithms and tracking software. It is a weird time that we live in, I can tell you that much. Probe scouting here. Hold on a second. Are we? Oh, I was going to say, both probes moving out. You are very, very worried about a proxy hatch, aren't you? But nah. No big deal. Just going to tech down this left side. Going to head on over, see what's going on in Serral's house. Serral's not doing anything crazy because it's Serral. He's actually throwing up his third hatch before his pool's done. Wow. Okay, that is a 145 third hatch. Really feeling strongly. He doesn't have to worry about much out of Stats here, and he doesn't at all. I mean, Stats is just going for the macro style stuff. He's got his second gas. He's got his second pylon coming in. Actually, where is his second pylon? Just kidding, it's over here. That's how you know. That's how you know shenanigans are happening. Second pylon coming up, that's got to be a Stargate, doesn't it? It's got to be a Stargate. Serral's not going to be ready for this. He's not going to be ready for the proxy oracles that are going to show up a little bit faster than he would expect. He's got the timings down to a science. He knows when to throw up the spores, when he needs them, when he needs queens to be in position. And this is going to ruin his day. This is really interesting out of Stats. I like it. I really like this quite a bit here. You got to throw the robot off a little bit. Serral, largely considered a bit of a robot just because he's so technically good at the game. He's insanely good at the game. Raynor being his one kryptonite and one weakness in all of StarCraft 2 is a 17-year-old Italian kid, which to this day makes no sense to me that Serral can beat everybody on the planet except for Raynor. Not that he can't beat Raynor, right? It's just that he will lose to Raynor more often by far than he loses to anybody else. ZVZ is a weird matchup, I think that's what I like to attribute that to. I think if it was a 17-year-old Terran player that was Raynor, it wouldn't be the same thing. I really think it comes down to the fact that it's ZVZ, and it's just a weird matchup right now. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Oracle on the way, ready to rock. Another Adept coming over to try to get some pressure on the front while the Oracle hits the back. That's a cool skin, man. That is a good-looking skin. That shield is awesome. You look great, Adept. You look really ready to rock today. So you're going to shade in the front while the Oracle comes in. And guess who doesn't have a spore yet? Yeah, that's right. Run, drones! You got to get out of here! This is a big problem right now. Coming on back in. The Adepts are actually finishing their shade. Adept down, but 5 workers killed. It was early. It was early. The spores weren't ready yet. Good pull of the drones. Got them out of there, so they weren't as easy to focus down. If these had just sat here while the queen was stabbing away, that would have been 6 or 7 or 8 drones. But as it stands, good reaction time. Double Oracle out. A Phoenix going to join the party here, too. Zerglings are like, all right, where's the proxy? That showed up way too soon to be a regular Stargate. And by golly, we're going to find it. So might turn around. Guy, not going to turn around. Okay, that's cool. These guys are going to go after the Stargate, though. Is that a Phoenix? Man, Phoenix is going north to kill that Overlord. Really interested in actually killing the Overlord rather than doing anything else as far as drone harassment is concerned. Fair enough. Spore coming up at the third base. That Overlord is toast. He's not going to get much scouting done, if any at all here. And the third base coming up for Stats behind it. So got some damage done. Slowed Serral down just a little bit here, which is what we like to see. And then Phoenix continuing to hammer away up here. So Zerglings, not sure. I mean, they would go after the third, except for the fact there are 2 Oracles sitting here. So Never mind. And now the Stargate is defunct and will end up dead, which is unfortunate, man. If Serral wanted to go for mutas, it might not be a bad game to do it. But he is going for the Roach Warren here between the third and the natural, which, interesting place for it, but that's totally fine. Zerglings, once again, just trying to be annoying and seeing what's coming out that front door. And the answer is a bunch of oracles. So a lot of oracles coming out. Got an immortal in production here, too. So Sentry, Immortal. Did I call them oracles again? There are oracles right here. Sentries and oracles. That's what we're doing here with some immortal support, which means you need Ravagers, which means the Roach Warren finishing now is really nice, which means you make 3 Roaches. And then you just try to bait out some force fields in the middle of the map like we're doing now, but it's not working out. Stats is not falling for your shenanigans. He's just going to murder your stuff. Did he just hallucinate 2 Phoenix? He did. Going for that scout. I don't think you're going to fool Serral with this. I think he just wanted... That was a feint. Okay. So he just feinted. He wasn't planning on getting anything done with that. He just wanted Serral to make some more stuff rather than droning his face off the whole first 10 minutes of this game. I guess he did make some Zerglings because he has to deal with the Stargate. He made some links for pressure too. Serral is only at 60 workers now, instead of the 70 he could be at if he wasn't forced to make, you know, these Zerglings and these Roaches. Phoenix scouting around trying to see what's up. Does see the Roach Warren, sees the lair. Probably already knows about the lair. There was some scouting happening there earlier. Yeah, so he knows about the lair. He knows about the evolution chamber. Actually going for +1 melee. Here is Serral. I'm interested to see what that's all about. Sees the Templar Archives coming up and says, all right, we're going to see some Storm. Call it good. Now, is Serral going to go for the Swarm Host play that has been so good for Dark and Rogue in BlizzCon this year? The answer is it doesn't seem like it. I don't see any Swarm Host in production. I don't see an Infestation Pit. Nope, there's not an Infestation Pit, nor is there one on the way. And if he was going for that kind of an attack, he would have an Infestation Pit already. But he wants the 4th base. He's got the Roaches. Have you ever thought about how the Roach produces all of the bile they're tossing out every time they attack? Where does it come from? They're not that big. They're not that big. That's all I'm going to say. So Sentry Immortal push. Little Duck Immortals in here. Got some Archons in the mix here too. Loving that, but also getting Storm and Charges finishing up. So he should be able to... There you go. Warp Prism going to warp into a few Zealots with Charge, which is going to be scary. Baneling drops, though. Coming on over to this 3rd base. Cannon's going to have an easier time dealing with this. I do feel like... I gotta feel like Protoss is best at having static defense of all the 3 races. And here comes the attempted drop. Is that Overlord gonna die before it gets... Okay, well, it got... Oh, all the Banelings got out. 9 probes whacked there. Overlord down. That could have been worse. Reaction time by stats was okay, not perfect. Losing those probes hurts, man. He's down to 61 workers to 79 for Serral. 4th base up and happily running. Stats has really not done much other than kill those initial 5 drones. He needs Storm. He needs Immortals. And he's going to need some good force fields against these Banelings, because it's a pretty scary setup right now for Serral. 5th base coming up at 8 minutes. He's going to be maxed out here in about 60 seconds or so, based on what we're seeing. Spire on the way. High Templar coming in, and that 4th base about 50% complete from stats. Alright, well, the charge lots are here, and they look like... Ooh, they want to get these queens. These queens were here for that Warp Prism. And, okay, so they sacrificed their own lives to actually end up saving this base. That was alright, I guess. That might have been overkill on the Banelings. You didn't need the Banelings in there to wipe those dudes out. Another attack up this way, not accomplishing a whole lot, at least not according to the WCS Gameheart interface. Adrenal Glands coming in, +1 Ground Carapace for Serral 2, and we're going for more Baneling drops and Warp Prism down south. Yeah, he's going to go after this base again, really keeping Serral at home with this army, and then kind of forcing stuff to go back into the main too, which these Lings are doing, and they should be able to handle just fine. Baneling drops. Is it worth killing these probes? It is now. The number there is probably worth it. They have the +2 attack. Nope! They do not. Because it takes 2 Banelings to kill him. If they had the +2 attack, it would just be a one-shotter. And those probes would be dead. Run, probes! Ugh. Okay, 4 probes down. That could have been a lot worse. Serral not getting much damage done there. And check it out. We got the fleet beacon from stats. More charge lot stuff trying to happen, but Serral's entire army is over here. You don't want to harass when his entire army's over here. Also, the War Prism is going to die because it doesn't have the speeds that the Corruptor does. That hurts. You don't want to lose that guy. Creep spreading, pushing up. Stasis Ward actually catching a handful of Zerglings here. Yeah, the creep spread pushing up on this fourth base is pretty much everything Serral wants right now. Trying to push up this way. Serral, does he want to engage is the question. I'm not entirely sure. 2 tumors do go down, but 2 tumors remain. Zergling's trying to get in here, but... Alright, so the charge lots are dead. Where are the Banelings going to slip in? Is there anywhere to go is the question. The charge lots are kind of forming a wall here. Banelings getting fired on. Are there enough to save the... Okay, again, that +2 attack is not done. Saving those probes' lives. Attack coming into the fourth, though. Big time Baneling Roach Ravager hit. Those Banelings getting stormed into oblivion and chased back. Serral does not like the situation. He falls back to the creep where he feels much safer. Pathogen glands on the way. Broodlords coming in. Corruptors in production. And we are seeing the end game of Broodlords here from Serral. And this is why he's really scary. His macro is insanely good. His defense is insanely good. Those are the 2 things you need. And then just decision making. It's kind of a 3-pronged thingy here. Makes good decisions. He macros well. And he makes... And, what was the other thing I said? I don't know. Either way. Oh, these probes could be dead. Saved by the Archons. That's a TV show in the Caprulu sector, is Saved by the Archons. Tempest in production to try to deal with those Broodlords. I do like Tempest. I do see a lot of complaints about people saying they hate Tempest. Don't think they're good against Broodlords, but that extra damage and the range they have, I just feel like it takes about 3 Tempest to one-shot a Broodlord. Just whoop-ah, down, whoop-ah, down. And they fire slowly, yes. But anytime you can one-shot something like a Broodlord, it's pretty good, especially from a distance where you're not really risking a whole lot. 10 Spores in production because Serral is looking to late-game ZVP here. He's absolutely planning for a situation in which a ton of carriers show up or Tempest, and having Spores against those air units is extremely, extremely good. Zerglings, again, trying to sneak on into this fourth, but... I mean, sure, 1 cannon dies. Mothership out. Nidus Network coming in. Zealot's trying to take down this 5th, but Spines shut it down, and then Banelings help with the rest of it. Kind of like that sound. Overseer flying around aimlessly in the top right. Here comes Stats. Pushing up the ramp. Nidus Worm coming up inside the main base. 3 Stalkers should be able to kill this before it finishes because their bonus versus armor is really nice. There you go. That doesn't happen. Zerglings trying to retreat back to their friends. Nope. Not going on here. Neural Parasite being researched. In a future patch of StarCraft they haven't announced already. Neural Parasite's going to be default on Infestors, but Infestaterrans are removed. So we have some balance changes coming our way. Zerglings trying to get in here. Oh, gosh. Alright, so they kind of get in there. Another warping of a Zealot. Fungal getting tossed down on some of these Archons, but they really don't care about that. The damage done is not that big of a deal. It's the Infestors that are really the concern here. I can't believe these Zerglings are being left alone. Do they have adrenal glands? They do. Yeah, okay, that's the sound. Pushing on in. Fungal's going down. Baneling's going on top. Nice Neurals on a couple of these Archons, which means they are dead. They're trying to get some damage done on their own army, and then they'll get wiped out by Broodlings while under mind control, which seems really mean, but hey, war is hell, I believe is what they say about it. Alright, so Stats really trying to poke in here and do something with Serral here. Same thing with Serral on the other side. He's trying to kill probes. Not really accomplishing a whole lot, though. I guess he got a Cybernetics core and a gateway, which is cool. But Robotics Bay on the way now from Stats. Creep spread's been pushed all the way back here, which is awesome. What are these? How did you get over here? Ah, forced a recall for 3 roaches? Okay. That might have been an overreaction from Stats here. I'm just going to call that. Another base on the way from Stats down the left side. Got some Zealots hanging out on Creep, which is just an invitation to die. Yeah, these 3 roaches are just kind of tickling at the shields of these buildings, not really accomplishing anything else. That shield energy will be back soon enough, don't you worry. Trying to corrosive bile down an observer with observer speed, mind you, so good luck with that. That's not going to happen today. Zealots, once again, going to go after this 5th base, which they've been trying to do for a while, but force of Spine Crawlers, good losing utility as the upgrades keep getting higher on these Zealots. They've got +2 attack. Got a Baneling attack rolling on in. 4 probes down and a cannon. Once again, great pull by Stats. Recognizing that threat. Oh, I'm going to try to Nidus right on top of this Nexus. It'll finish, but how fast is the question? Oh! The cannons need to redirect their fire onto that Nidus. No! It could have actually stopped this from happening entirely. Oh, that's brutal. Another Nidus coming up here. This Nexus is going to go down. This is a huge major problem. Zealots at the top side going to be dealing with Broodlords, which they don't do super well against Broodlords, it turns out. They're not good. That Nexus down. That Nidus Worm actually dies to the cannon before it finishes coming up. And the Broodlords actually leaving these Zealots to their own devices. Zergling's coming over to handle them. And Stats pulling back with his army right now. Army supply pretty even. Worker supply pretty even. But losing this base is a problem. Zealots continually getting rocked down here by Zerglings, also a problem. So technically it's a 4-basing Protoss versus a 5-basing Zerg. Another Nidus coming up top side. Overseer really wants to place down another Nidus. Oh, Changeling giving that vision. And Changeling is dead. So can this come up? No. That worm dies too. So Stats is doing a pretty fantastic job killing Nidus worms. I mean, it murdered this Nexus with a handful of Zerglings just because, again, the cannons were not target firing the worm. You gotta do that stuff, man. Another group of Zealots just kind of accomplishing not a lot here. They don't want to be fighting out in the middle. Simulation successful. Alright, so the Oracle gets picked off, which sucks for Stats. He needs that Revelation. He really does. Hey, look, the Zealots are actually getting work done here. Oh, crap, 1 million Banelings. Alright. So, 49 Zealots have died in this game in about 15 minutes, which is a lot of Zealots. But hey, they're the mineral dump, man. That's why Stats is making 7 of them at a time right now. Resources lost, 50,000 to 17,000. Oh, he burrowed the Banelings over here. That's so mean. I like it. I like having burrowed Banelings over here. They just unburrow, and the Zealots are willing to sacrifice their lives to keep these buildings alive. That's another burrow. Another Oracle going down to assimilation successful. Burrows it right down. Oh, we got some Disruptor play. Nope, doesn't get a shot off on all of these. Wow, all of these Infestors. Does actually knurl down the Mothership. Wait, why is it not cloaking the units? If you knurl the Mothership, she cloaks the Zerg units. Maybe that was broken. I feel like that was broken. Oh, those poor Zealots going down. Some Zealots in the top right. Maybe the visual was broken in the replay, because if you neural parasite a Mothership, she cloaks your stuff for you. We've seen that before. Infested Terran getting a shot off and then expiring. No more Infested Terrans after this patch, which who knows, by the time this comes out, maybe the patch is already done. Maybe it's already out. Zealots, and again, the 5th base. It's just been a love affair between the Zealots and the 5th base. They've been trying to get in there, but the Spine Crawlers are just not absolutely 100% allowing it at all. Hey, look, more Banelings and Stats pulling again, so 2 probes die. Another assimilation successful happens. Those Banelings are just waiting for everybody to come back. See what I'm talking about? Tempest getting some stuff done. Banelings, oh, burrowing in that mineral line, trying to take down. Look at them chasing these probes. No, Archon saving the day again. Only 5 probes die. Stats is doing okay. Stats is doing all right here. He's replacing the 5th base. Serral hasn't really been able to get a 6th base at all. The harassment has been real to this point. More oracles being produced. And Serral really prioritizing killing them if possible. Creep spread is not happening. Serral got all the way up here earlier, and now it's way, way, way back on the other side of the map. Nova explodes. Serral dodges it ably. Not going to die to that thing. Yeah, see, the Tempest can just kind of take it off Corruptors from distance here. And here we go. Corruptors on top of the Fungal Tempest. Got Nova's coming out. Got Infested Terrans providing a wall coming down here. Nova does catch an Infestor there. Oh, we also have a really big Nidus play, and Roaches coming into that new base. We really need to keep that alive, Stats does. Army supply 112 to 95 in favor of the Protoss right now, but it's a lot of dead probes all of a sudden. Down to 34 probes remaining. Did they just come from over here? I guess they just came from over there. Why not? Engagement in the middle. Stats just trying to make something happen here. Trying to take down the base. Trying to kill a bunch of drones if he can. There's really not much of a response from Serral. He's allowing the Protoss to get really deep onto creep here. The Stalkers are trying to blink underneath the Broodlords to kill them, but additional Broodlords are coming up all the time. Just chewing through the Fungal and the Broodlings. Did end up killing a hatch and 11 drones here, so Stats maybe not out of it, but geez, 37 probes and losing that base. He's still on a wing and a prayer here. Static defense really slowing down the Protoss, which is exactly what Serral needs. He makes 5 more Infestors and gets +2 air armor, +2 flyer carapace. Yeah, Broodlings sniping off a Disruptor there. There's an army coming up the left side to make sure this base never comes back. And as long as Serral could just hold off here, he's got this thing won. Right? That's all this is all about. He's just trying to keep Stats over on this side, making sure Stats doesn't expand on the other side of the map. He's using his Broodlords to just pick off Stalkers and pick off Zealots and whatever he can kill. Stats decides it's time to get on into the Forest of Spine Crawlers. +3 attack and +2 shields on these Archons means they're pretty darn good all over the place. Yeah, but the army shows up at Stats' 4th base. Simulation successful down south. The Archon, well, one of them anyway, is mind controlled, and Serral gets the win as Stats taps out here in 22 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, that was an economy win for Serral, as they often are in StarCraft 2. Just came down to the fact that there were 87 probes dead, only 7 remaining. This base was a ghost town. This base was dead. And that's all she wrote. Stats was able to take down 1 hatchery in the game, but at the end of times, 3 Nexuses went down, and the math just does not add up at the end of the day. 25 drones were killed, which is a good number. 19 Broodlords went down, which is a lot of Broodlords. Serral had 10 at the end of the game, so that's replacing a lot of resources there. He did end up losing more resources in 40,000 to 39,000, so that makes sense. A lot of Broodlords down. A lot of Zerglings down, a lot of Banelings and Infestors are a lot of gas too. End of the day though, Stats losing 78 Zealots in his attempt to take down that 5th base, which he never did. 7 Disruptors, a Mothership, 6 High Templar, and 19 Archons, which is also a ton of gas, as well as 3 Immortals. Hurrah! Alright, well, that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.